but it wasn't a giant shock. I think the reason Congress has a 9% approval rating isn't really a party thing. It's just what do we see most of the time going into? It's who's the bad guy, who's the enemy, who's right, who's wrong, who wins, who loses. And, you know, we go up and down in this country, but we're clearly on a trend towards more partisanship. And it does, you know, I'm sure we'll all say it does make it most of the time more difficult to focus on policy as opposed to politics.
Unfortunately, we don't get the public hearings. People do not get to talk about. We don't get to hear the testimony from people who are going to be affected by different things that we've introduced. So yes, we passed a lot of bipartisan bills. However, there's still so much more that does not even get a conversation in Madison.
And there are a lot of bills that were passed by a lot of senators, and I think that's just relationship building. What I think is different since maybe 10 years ago is the fact that relationships aren't generated as easily as maybe they used to be. Before, there used to be more going out to dinner because you'd be spending the night, or you'd go out for a drink. And while I think Pat and I know, go out with our Democratic colleagues for dinner and for drinks occasionally, there isn't as much of it. And I think that because we don't get to just sit down and chat at an informal level, it does have an effect. But I agree with Pat, the legislature is not as divided as people think.